Hello, everyone. Hello, Overwatch fans. Welcome to week 2 of Golden Hammer Gaming Season 7. Tonight we have an interesting matchup between two teams that have been around in this community, not this tournament in particular, but the Overwatch community for quite a while. We have the amazing Trash Pandas facing up against the equally incredible Geometric, two teams full of players that we all know. I am your caster tonight, Unchanged. Alongside me is Nya. Nya, what do you think about these two teams as we see them come into this first fight?
To be honest, I feel like it's going to be pretty competitive as we're seeing right here. I mean, Mello was almost dead there. Does get stunned, but Eternal does get the pick off him. So, I mean, I feel like it's going to be pretty close, but what about you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be close, but what isn't close at the moment seems to be this first fight. Soup, Triage, and the rest of this team picking up the kills off the back of Eternal's initial pick. So, is going to be the Trash Pandas side picking up that first fight. And some interesting comps that we're seeing here. It's a dive from Starry Night and Geometric now on the Winston, but a poke comp coming out. Yeah, a bit more poke from Trash Pandas. Normally you'd expect dive to win in that fight once they close the space, but we'll be interested to hear. Churd, there is a good dive combo. Soup going down early. That's a lot of the damage mitigated. Pitch also very low. Wooly able to follow up with a nice boop kill. Lucio versus Lucio. This should be an easy fight win here for the dive comp once they are able to get on. Yes, Vex finding Triage. There's all of the sustain, Eternal drops, and just a hack. Clean up. Nice hack there from Churd to deny Bevan from stalling any longer. And, well, that's a quick flip on that fight, yeah. And once again, now it's Geometric in charge.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are coming up on ults right now. I mean, as we see, we got Lucio ultimate ready to go from Wooly up on Geometric. This could be huge here, especially with the Pulse up on a flank. So let's see what they could do here.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who that hack and that flank goes on. The Pulse does miss from Bevan, but Svek still has theirs. There's the beat to match the Flux. Flux gets hacked out anyway. And, wow, Starry in this dive. I mean, Churd is hacking targets, and Starry and the rest of the team are following up perfectly on this at the moment. Geometric looking really well coordinated on this dive. Pitch slap, though, does get a bit of an exit pick, but not one that will be too important with Wooly already using their beat and being on the Lucio. Yeah, they're 1-1 on that Lucio matchup so far.
I mean, look at the ultimates, though, for Geometric. They got 4 over 1 or 2 over Trash Pandas, so this is going to be definitely interesting.
And immediately the EMP kill onto Triage. Pit slap dropped as well. Man. No ults online to counter, and man, Kitsune on top just to make sure. Rest of the team filling in. Starry Night also did use the Primal there, so you talked about having an ult advantage. They just dumped all of them into that fight. So now ult advantage in favor of the Trash Pandas, who have swapped over onto this Brawl comp as well. Should be a slightly more favorable matchup into this dive.
Yeah, let's see what they could do with this window here, especially from their bat player. And I mean, we're gonna have this here from Pitch. The window is popped from Triage. And here we go. Triage trying to get something off the Psalm. But Churd does get a pick off of Bevan. We still got that beat available from Pitch Slapped. The Pitch needs to get away. Does beat up on the point.
Yeah, they're up on point, but they're down in damage presence. Doesn't really matter. Triage finding the trade, but Svex kills Triage. That means there's a lot less sustain on that point. Yeah, Eternal can't sustain through, had no E on that Mauga, no shout left. And look at Churd and Wooly running around together, causing chaos. Svex finishing blows as well.
That's one.
Once they got themselves coordinated and able to get a solid dive together, Geometric looking very confident. Trash Pandas, not quite so much, but they showed promise there, especially with a comp swap. They understood the matchups. Yep. That's always a good sign. Lets you know that they've got some coaching. Oh, of course, you always come back. I mean, you never want to take things too seriously on Control, as it is anyway. Control, the map style, the play style of these map types are very different to most of the others. It is much more of like how the comp matchups rather than an individual play a lot of the time on these maps, as you're all in quite close quarters for the most part. But A map with slightly less close quarters, downtown, and we do see Soup running out on the Widow, but
Widow.
how much can that Widow do against a dive, yeah?
I mean, kind of good. It depends upon where the guys are positioned, especially. But let's see what Soup can do. He's looking at Lucio right now. Might be getting a pick here, possibly. It just all depends. Oh, what a shot from Soup up on the Wooly. And Soup just trying to get something here. Eternal does get the follow-up on the Churd. Eternal trying to get the Winston.
This should be an easy fight win now for Trash Pandas. As you said, huge opening picks from Soup. I mean, they output a huge amount of damage just to begin with onto Starry Night, and that kind of opened up that fight. And then once the damage came in, Wooly got picked off. Bevin now with a nice exit pick. Man, that's going to really stall out the re-engage from the dive of Geometric. And look at the shield. Soup's got a shield in their face as well, just to make sure no one can poke them out if they need it. Sigma not feeling like the rest of the team needs it right now. Really gonna have to see what kind of angles this dive comp can engage from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Starry could even dive that Widow too. As we're seeing right now, Starry going up onto the Widowmaker, but Widowmaker does go out, so Soup does sustain himself for just a bit, but is getting doped by Starry. Soup is half, does get hacked by the Sombra, and we still have sights here from Soup, so...
Yeah, pitch stop got really low there. Svexo, Bevin, Bevin with 2, winning the Tracer duel. Starry Night does finally find Soup, but it's a little too late. Eternal finds Churd, and now Starry Night is left alone on point by herself. Cannot solo, doesn't find the 5v1, does reset. I mean, Poke, they're doing so well. They're just getting damage out, Trash Pandas here before Starry and the rest of Geometric can really get an engagement off, not getting the most out of Churd, and it's going to be even harder to get anything out of Churd now with that sights online from the Widowmaker. Sombra gets found out, has to try and TP away, can't. This is coming into last fight territory here, 80 plus minutes, Flux into Pulse, that's 2, both supports down, Bevin with a 3k in the feed, huge plays from the Tracer here, and well, the comeback looking very much alive at the moment. It's going to be last fight territory, some ults coming up. It's going to be close. They get on. Window online. Eternal finds Starry. Yeah, they're staggering in overtime.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I feel like
just about do it.
Trash Pandas gets this one.
They do indeed, and well, they look much more comfortable there. Good ult rotation, huge picks in multiple fights coming out from Soup on the Widow. That map certainly seemed to play into their strengths much more.
So true, so true. I feel like if we're Geometric, though, we could have dove the Widowmaker, but it was tough. The sightlines were hard to get in up on angles, but it is what it is. You still got this third map here.
Yeah, and a third map that plays entirely differently. As we do have a disconnect from one of the players. It's Wooly. Does unfortunately drop out for Geometric, but regardless, next map or next point will still be Mecha Base from Busan. Enclosed map, much more narrow sight lines for the most part. I mean, you can play the opposite high grounds. Poke can still work. But you end up having to play a lot of ring around the rosy. Type play styles. I feel like it's going to be much easier for Geometric and their more brawl dive type comps, but
Bev going up onto the and Starry up on a ram.
So it is
a little
brawl.
Switch ups.
Kind of what I expected more. Kind of Sig brawl though. I mean, it's still brawl. It's not really Poke coming out from Trash Pandas. They are acknowledging the slightly narrower sightlines that a lot of this point tends to get played around. So Venture Cast, going to be interesting to see how that matches up. Sig, obviously Ramatra can run down. No, actually Eternal swapped over to a Ramatra of their own. So now it really is Brawl Mirror, and it's going to be interesting to see how Kiriko...
Oh, Story's dead!
Yeah, Kiriko versus Bap healing, there's a huge difference there.
That's absolutely crazy. I mean, Wooly's getting picked by Soup here. I mean, if you're Mellow and Swebex, you just gotta go back to your team here.
Yeah, I mean, more traditional Brawl. They do have Churd on the Mei, so Geometric, if they can get someone soloed out, should be able to burn down and get those picks quite easily. But really, the big difference in that first fight felt like it was Mellow on that Kiriko and Triage on the BAP. That BAP sustained so huge. Now we see that wall come out, forces the early immortality field, so now the advantage and onus is on Geometric, but trading tank Wooly for Eternal. I think normally Geometric would be happy with that. Bevix gets Starry. Triage though. Svex can Cass, trades both ways. It's a 2v2. Cass and BAP versus Cass and BAP left, but it is Triage and it's Soup that win that for Trash Pandas.
Yeah,
wow.
That's crazy. Wow. I mean,
yeah,
you're
all those traded kills
here too, so it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, ult for both sides, but the big difference, because of the swap that Mello had to do, Geometric are down the window. Triage and the rest of this team should acknowledge that, and they should play early with their own window.
Exactly. Here comes the Venture, getting one off of the Mello. Might be getting another. Soup does follow up on the Starry. Bev getting a pick up on Swevex, and I mean, clean fight there if you're Bev from Trash Pandas.
Yeah, really clean fight, and they still have the window advantage going into next. I mean, they do have to be careful of these Vex on that new Cass ult, can move around much faster, maybe engage from an off angle, and Starry can be a bit tankier with the Ramatra ult, but it's going to be hard to play into that window.
Exactly, yeah.
It's going to be interesting, though, to see what Churd does when they build up the Mei ult. Slightly early wall usage. Now there's the Mei ult. Does split the team, but Soup has a nice off-angle Cass versus Cass. Soup finds a kill on Svex first. Wooly trades it on Eternal, though, so Trash Pandas down the tank, down the presence, but Soup and Bevin on the DPS. No supports online for Geometric in this overtime fight. Starry gonna have to try and solo. Finds two! The beat comes out. They're low, but they're not able to kill enough, and in the end, it is Trash Pandas who find the kills and the map win. Nice boot there from Pitch Slap to deny the touch from Svex, and
that was
close
crazy.
fight.
Back and forth.
Starry, she tries turning it around. A lot of traded picks, but yeah, you're right. In the end, it's Trash Pandas who win the map.
Well, map one's over. Map two next.
That's a good mentality to have, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think too much about what just happened. GG's go next, I guess. But yeah, good map from Geometric. Unlucky on the way those last two maps played out. Unlucky to lose some of the trades in those fights. It felt like they were up at times, and then it always kind of felt like it was Soup and Triage that were left alive, and that Bapcast duo were certainly popping off at times.
Oh, so true. I mean, we saw the picks back and forth there in that little duel. It was amazing.
Yeah, it is the pure chaos of this elo quite often in those fights. Way more traded picks even in the mid fight. But next map, something that plays a bit differently, and I'm not sure how much. I mean, Geometric got the pick. They pick Hollywood. I'm not sure how much this plays into their hand, because Trash Pandas looked really comfortable on that poke, and poke's a pretty
poke's
good
really
comp on this
good
map.
up on Hollywood. Yeah, I was just about to say. But they could initialize up on the dive though, depending upon how they position. So it's definitely going to be interesting upon how they play this.
Yeah, you've got to assume that Geometric have picked this map because they feel confident about their dive. Dive was something they played quite a lot, even just on the last map, so must be something they're practicing. But Trash Pandas, like I said again, they looked very comfortable playing the poke comp into the dive, which is normally at a disadvantage, but they didn't seem too troubled by it, particularly on that downtown map when the sightlines favored them. And as you said, Hollywood is a map. It's often dive versus dive or dive versus poke. It's kind of doesn't really favor either side, so I'm curious.
Exactly. Who knows how this one will go? Let's just see, though. We're launching in. Hopefully it's close, I mean, we saw the map 3 up on Busan. It was pretty close back and forth with the Bap and Creedles, but see what happens here.
Yeah, like I say, fortunately we don't have to wait too long to find out what's going to happen. These teams will be consulting each other and picking their heroes, and we'll get them running out soon, because I Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think about what other maps are in the map pool, and I have to, like, I'm being honest with myself at this point. There aren't many other maps that favor
I
uh,
mean, Midtown maybe
geometric.
for poke, but dive.
I mean, that would favor. I'd say that would favor Trash Pandas harder. Geometric had the map pick, I guess.
Yeah,
Wanting to play dive, this does favor them slightly more. We do have the two teams have swapped sides, so it is going to be Trash Pandas defending first and Geometric running out uh, on the attack. So this is probably what they picked this map for, because they felt like they had a good attack set up for it on the dive, like we said. So interesting to see, as we do have Churd on the
on
Echo.
the Echo. Yeah,
A lot of spam. Mellow on the Ana, probably just going to be playing to build the nano charge as
Nano
quickly
and
as possible.
antis. Yeah,
So nano, antis, spam, poke damage from Churd, follow up from Specs. It's a very good, quite standard comp for this map. I'm sure Wooly might even at some point swap off of the Brig with no dive coming up on the defense. There's no real pressure that Brig needs to deny from the defensive side, but
or going
and then again, pretty standard defense. BAP maybe seeing slightly more prominence in recent times, but I'm not sure about Eternal giving up that high ground quite so easily.
Oh, Soup getting the pick up on the Churd. Oh, Soup getting another pick. I
Well,
mean, that's kind of crazy just for that, but
the
if
the soup
we're
supremacy
yeah,
at the moment.
it's kind of wild. Not gonna lie.
Hit
Let's see
scan
what
of Trash
story though.
Pandas popping off.
Oh,
Yeah, Starry already threw the choke, so doesn't have to worry about that on their next engage. I'm not sure if anyone from Trash Pandas knows they're there. Gets the jump up.
oh, sorry.
Miss Rock, Eternal low, below half, forces hands out,
I mean,
will...
Story could go up on these supports too as Winston, so this might be pretty good initiative.
Now they're
Oh,
taking
there he
space,
goes.
huge anti-lands onto Soup.
Oh,
Triage
but
does
gets
have the
denied.
immo, but no, Pitch Slap boops him away, stuns him, and the Brig, great at denying the dive, does just that, and yeah, as you say, not quite enough follow-up, but Specs!
Oh,
Never mind, Geometric still engaged here.
Eternal getting the melee off the Specs, and it seems to be
Okay, there we go.
Story's half with the primer. But Churd's gonna be coming up on this Echo dude, especially the Nano too from Mellow. So
I am so surprised that Geometric is still trying to sustain on this engage. Wooly on the Brig, drops, but Churd trades it
there it
onto
is.
Pitch Slap. Now we see the copy from Churd. There's two tanks
there's
online.
Nano.
Nice rock. Eternal dropping low. Nano as well, like you said. Yes, the Sig gets Flux early. Flux is the Bob and the Sig. Can they finish up the kills? Need to deny this Bob off of
But
point if they can.
nice.
Sleep out. Kills. Now they just need to deny Soup's damage. Nice nades. Nice follow-up
It
from
is.
Starry. Man, I really was questioning the mentality to re-engage there from the dive before they had 5, but they knew they were down the BAP,
Yeah.
all of that sustain, and it works out for them now.
I mean, they did use 3 ults there, so I'm wondering what they're gonna do against this window, Rally, and then Flux here from Trash Pandas.
Yeah, surely the Flux comes in as soon as we see the dive. No, Flux early, okay. Flux before the dive engage,
Oh,
picks
that was
Starry
good
Knight
pick.
out, forces them on the high ground.
Eternal getting
Churd
picked off with
as
Churd.
well. I was going to say, surely you Flux as soon as you see the monkey jump in, but they didn't even wait.
Yeah,
Aggression
exactly.
here.
Wait, Pitch Slap is going to be getting this rally here shortly, so we'll be seeing how that gets played, especially with this window too.
Yeah, we could see both Brigs rallying at the exact same time here. Obviously, Wooly has theirs online as well. Churd dropping dangerously low once again, thanks to Soup hitting their shots. I mean, they're opting to just kind of push Car. I guess if there's no contest, there's no reason not to force it around to a slightly better angle and then take the high ground, but you're just allowing this poke comp to farm really hard here.
X might be looking for
Eternal
a
stunned
pulse
out of
here.
hands.
Oh,
There's
there's
an
a pulse.
anti and an MO used. Yeah, it's Vex. Pulse doesn't hit, but it does force cooldowns. Bevan with a nice headshot on Vex, though.
The Nano from
Eternal's
Mel.
been incredibly low this whole time. Now they finally drop the Sig down. Tank presence online. Nano as well, used by Mellow to make sure Starry gets the kills. Churd finds
crazy.
pitched. Yeah. Man, in moments where it looks like they're about to lose, this dive comp, they just keep aggressing and finally find the kills and the win. I mean, Eternal was like 1 HP for for a good like 5-6 seconds there at least. They got antied all the way down to Immo health and then still kept chunking. Now we see a slight staggered recontest from Trash Pandas.
Like a dupe is available too, so let's see what happens here. Does get picked though. Sure does get the trade, but if we're Soup here, Soup does throw the Bob. See what the Bob gets. It seems to be slept. The Wooly is low from the Ash Dynamite. Soup just trying to get more value up on the Mellow does with the Bob. And Starry's going to finalize pick. Oh, I thought that was going to be it.
Primal 9? Boop them away. You've got Specs to touch. Yes, there we go. Well played by Starry Knight with that Primal. Just knew they needed to get the Trash Pandas side off of point, and they're able to cap. A nice 3-minute time bank coming into this 4th point, and they're snowballing at the moment here. I mean, Bevan does find Starry, but Eternal's down. Bevan's the only one in, misses the Pulse Bomb. If the rest of the team can follow up, they've got only 1 blink left, nothing left now. They can't get out. Churd, nice follow-up will really get the kill. Yeah, so some nice staggers. They're gonna get past this 1st and 2nd corner of 3rd point, and that's gonna be nice, but they are gonna have to play into this really harsh long sight line. Obviously that favors this poke comp, but Bevan actually, maybe they're gonna swap more to a Brawl, because Bevan and Soup have swapped over to a May cast.
Oh, May, yeah. I mean, Flux is gonna be available here for Eternal. Oh, does pop. Oh, but
does fine, but the copy keeps themselves alive. Churd doesn't really care if they get forced out early, but they sustain through the ult. Soup gets them low, but Eternal dropping. Soup trades into Specs, but Bevan's down. They need to kill Triage. On point, the Baptiste goes down indeed. Now the Nano, so Starry should just be able to lock down and kill on this point. Does find Soup, finds Pitched. Now it's just going to be staggered recontests. Are they going to touch? They do just in time. Nice stun. So Eternal's low already, dropping just below half. And they're down. Window comes out from Triage, but I think it's going to be a bit too little too late. Nice Immortality, though. Immediately down. Soup, though, as always, finding 1, finding 2. Triage finding a 3rd. There's that Bapcast duo that's been popping off all map, and Starry and Mellow opt for the disengage. I mean, it's the Bap and Cast once again for Trash Pandas. Just popping off. 3K immediately turns that fight when it looked for sure like Geo were going to win there.
That was definitely well played. I feel like they waited out the abilities there, don't you think?
Yeah, they waited till the very last second until they re-engaged. Triage hit an Immo to allow Bevan on the May to sustain just a little bit longer on point, and then once he and Soup had the window, it was game over.
I mean, that's absolutely wild, but Slevek almost dying here. But Bev does get picked by Cheered. Oh, the Cass ultimate might be getting something here.
Yeah, obviously can run around a lot. Not getting sped by their Lucio, but does take a look around. There's a huge space denial and denial of time. Eternal dropping incredibly low. Immo out early. Eternal still low. Surely they chunk him down. They do indeed. So Eternal drops. Churd has a nice off angle, but Bevan trades a kill onto Starry Knight. So now it's up 1.
Oh,
there's Bevan with the Blizz. That should stall. And once again, just not quite able to find the key picks. So a lot of it is Triage just surviving for so long, keeping everyone else alive.
I mean, final 10 seconds here is Trash Pandas going to be able to do something about Geometric here. I mean, you got this beat, and you're also going to be coming up on Cage, so I feel like Cage would finalize this, not gonna lie, if they get it.
If they get it, indeed. Look at Eternal again getting chunked down by Churd. There is the overclock damage. Wooly gets a res onto Churd as well, who had been traded down. Triage now with another window online, looking to try and get the kills. Flux online, finds the Lucio. Pitch Slap doesn't have Beach, should die. Doesn't. Bevan does drop, though. Now we see a window of their own from Mellow as they try and push through this last bit of points. Pitch Slap finding a rock to the face. That's a kill. Need to deal with Soup and Triage. Soup drops down to Churd. Triage still online. There's that cage, but they're looking to get chunked. Need to deal with the Baptiste, who is keeping Eternal alive here. Someone needs to kill Triage. Eternal drops. There's Triage dropping. Stall from Bevan on the May. Pitch Slap touching as well. Pitch Slap drops early. Bevan should die. Soup on the Tracer now. Gets that last second touch, but they got such a low health pool. Don't contest for long.
Hold the pulse.
Don't contest for long enough to touch. The pulse stuck, but Eternal just tanked it with the block, but it didn't matter. They weren't able to touch point because of it. Eventually, in overtime, Geometric Cap, but man, 3 minutes they came into third point with, and Trash Pandas were able to eat all of that time bank up now.
I will say, at least they capped 3. But we'll definitely see what they could do here against Trash Pandas especially, because that definitely was interesting with the 3 minutes. I feel like they could have finalized it quicker, but near the end, they finalized up on the picks that they needed to. So maybe we'll be seeing the same exact thing here.
Yeah, I mean, Trash Pandas had some really nice stall coming out there. I'm interested to see what these teams pick. We do look like they're favoring the dive, even on the defense here from Geometric, and it's going to be pretty much a mirror match. I mean, Churd on the Tracer, Soup on the Widow is the only difference. We've seen what Soup can do on the Widow in this map so far, but dive versus dive, when dive seems to be the preferential comp of Geometric. I'm curious how this matchup is going to play.
It's definitely interesting that they're running dive up on defense, though. Wouldn't you think poke would be better here up on defense?
I would say yes, but dive is viable on here on every point. I've seen many a team run the dive defense, especially if it's a favored comp, because if you're anticipating the attacking side to run out on dive, and you just have the confidence to feel like we are the better dive comp, I don't think that's a bad idea, because then you're just playing the mirror matchup in a comp where you feel more comfortable. Like,
oh yeah, exactly. Oh, seems to be Eternal.
Seems like a good try. Oh no! Starry going in when they had full cooldowns gets immediately antied and burst down. No tank, not much presence now for the dive comp, and yeah, the rest of the team looking to disengage. They should be able to get a recontest before first gets fully capped, though.
Yeah, Churd probably gonna touch this objective here. Maybe they could even get some damage up on that backline, especially.
Yeah, Anti comes in onto Eternal first, but Starry also gets antied. And they did hit Eternal to allow them to get a bit more healing. Soup is just chunking damage out though, but Starry displaces them and finds Bevan. Churd follows it up with a kill onto Pitch Slap. Starry getting Eternal on the way back. Now diving in, can they get one of these 2 kills? Finds Triage and then Soup. Starry popping off. She's making plays here on the monkey. It is Winton time indeed. They had to give up 2. They gave up 2 ticks there for that fight.
I mean, look at the ultimates though. That's Geometric are going to be coming up on. They're going to be coming up on a Nano. They're going to be also coming up on Rally, Pulse, and plus they have the Primal to use. So maybe we could see Churd getting a big pulse here shortly.
I'm anticipating at some point, once they know where they are, Starry's just going to go hard, bait out the early nade, and then just Primal to sustain. As long as they don't get slept, it should be easy. Soup finds Mallow, so no Nano online. Nano then coming out early. Pulse onto Churd, so it's 2-1, but there's a Primaling Monkey in your backline and no Ana to sustain. Churd, though, finds Triage. Yeah, the dive, Starry Knight and Churd finding more kills than the Nano on Eternal could. Wooly does get an exit pick, though, so the Brig will be slow to get back, but
I will say Geometric is playing this really, really safe at the moment. Plus, they have 3 ultimates up in their engage. And, will you have to worry about Trash Pandas? Because they have the Echo Duke, they're coming up on a rally, but that is sights used from Sue.
And we see the early Nano coming out from Mellow. I expected the early Nano because Soup was going to be potentially getting a pick onto Mellow, so Mellow played that pretty well to deny, the pick potential, also denying the ult. Space was made by Starry. Churd close to another Pulse Bomb, as you said. They do still have the Brig Rally online. There's the Duke coming out from Bevan. Copying on the Tracer of Churd. Should be able to build up a Pulse Bomb before this ult expires. Blinking in with their Monkey. Nade following up to allow them to stay alive. Can they sustain and get a kill? No. Brig Rally comes out. Vex finds them. The stun gets Bevan as they come out of the dupe. They're down. Starry looks to sustain. Pitch Slapper, though, coming out with a rally of their own. Pulse just barely missing from Cherd. Back in goes Starry Night, finds Pitch Slap alone in the bubble, gets the kill. Triage finds Cherd, though. So once again, these teams are trading kills, but it's in favor of Geometric in the end. Svex and Starry find Triage and Eternal down to just 20 seconds left now. And, well, Geometric look to be comfortable on the dive.
Maybe Trash Pandas can come back, though. I mean, we see both of these Winstons coming up on Primals, plus Triage is coming up on a Nano, too. So, Primal Nano might be huge here from Trash Pandas.
Could be indeed, and there's not much online to deny it. The High Noon and the Primal of their own from Starry, so Geo will sure look to pop that. There's Vex with the High Noon, immediately gets slept though, so no util out of that. Soup, once again, getting the opening pick onto Cherd. No more Tracer Widow matchup. This Cass wins, aggressively taking point. Eternal there. Primal finds Wooly. Pitch Slap finds Vex. Starry Night low. Does get Triage before they can do too much, but the Nano had already been used. Eternal gets a kill. Starry Night trades it out, but it's too little too late. And just as overtime was about to tick in, Trash Pandas get the fight win. Now they got to fight through second.
I will say, though, I'm pretty surprised how Geometric took that much time off of a dive comp like that. You know, it's definitely interesting because we saw up on the third push for them, Trash Pandas took 3 minutes off of them. So maybe they're trying to prove their point here.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be holding well. They got to try and get this high ground space first. Mellow already dropping low, has to get forced down. Does have the Nano, but it's not going to be much. Nice anti-landing there from Triage. Immediately gets Vex. Wooly low as well. Triage finding the kill, follow-up onto their own nade there onto Wooly. And, well, they're pushing over halfway through second point pretty much for free here. Just weren't quite able to set up their Geometric. And I mean, when you can't set up and dive.
You're going to be seeing Pulse and Cass High Noon. That could be huge for a flank.
Yeah, from the high ground as well. Do have good positioning, but we're also going to be seeing the Nano. Mellow's Nano should come out probably onto Starry Night to deny the space on the high ground. Bevan dropping dangerously low, gets healed back up. Soup takes a bit of a chunk now. Has to sustain. Starry force once again off high. Bevan finds Wooly. Nothing to deny that once the stick lands. Vex, though, trades back onto Bevan. Now we see the Nano online. Starry Night finds Soup. Fighting with Eternal on points. Vex gets that kill. Pitch Slap eventually drops as well. It's just Triage left. They should be able to find their way to mop this up. Triage, though, gets the exit onto Starry with the nade. It's going to be good for their ult charge, if nothing else. And Soup still holding on to the Noon.
I mean, final fight coming up here. We're going to be seeing 4 ultimates for basically both of these teams. This is going to be pretty close, though, I'd say. Especially with the Tracer Pulse from Cherd. That could be huge.
Yeah, if Cherd gets a pick with that Pulse, it will, almost undoubtedly turn the fight. Pitch Slap, though, with the rally online, it's going to be huge for the stay. Huge nade, though. Soup low, Triage low, both forced off of the high ground. Can they follow up off the back of that Mellow nade? Primal from Starry looking to boot them around. Nano comes out from Triage. There's the pulse from Cherd. Does find Triage though. Pitch Slap already dropped as well before they're able to use the rally. So in this overtime fight, that's huge. Wooly has the rally online. Gets Soup low. Doesn't get the kill. But look how low Eternal, and it's just Soup left now in an overtime fight. 4v1. Does find Svex, but no one else from Trash Panda is able to follow up. And in the end, in the dive feed dive mirror, it is Geometric coming out on top and winning Hollywood, making this a 1-all series.
That was crazy. I truly thought that Trash Pandas was going to push that to 3 and just dominate them with that dive. But Geometric pulling it in with clutchness. I mean, that was crazy how they played that. They went from 3 minutes up on their attack to 0 up in overtime. They cap it, and then their defense was just crazy. Like, they proved their point. It was really, really good, though, from Geometric.
Yeah, I'd have liked to have seen something different, maybe, from Trash Pandas. I mean, yes, this is a map where dive is generally the strongest on attack, but when you know that Geometric are running dive, and Geometric, dive is their like, comfort pick, trying to run the dive v dive matchup when dive isn't your number 1 comp, you're playing your number 2, maybe number 3 comp against the enemy team's number 1 comp. I mean, I'd like to see Trash Pandas have maybe tried to change it up when they weren't like dominantly coming out on top in the dive mirror, but
I mean, maybe
ultimately just
this
well played from
next
Geometric.
map might be kind of better for them, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Suravasa as we move over to Flashpoint. I mean, not so much a dive favoring map, but dive still playable. Is generally a map where you tend to see more poke or brawl comps played, which, as you said, should play into the hands of the Trash Pandas. But
Yep.
I mean, until we get into the map, we won't know. And ultimately,
Yeah.
these two teams have just been, really evenly matched. It's been moments of brilliance popping off from the DPS and tank. Starry and Chair have been doing huge. The rest of the team following up with the picks, and I mean, Stoop and Triage have been, trying to make solo plays as much
Yeah.
as possible. The rest of Trash Pandas have been giving them the space to make those plays, though, which is ultimately showing a good level of coordination there from both of these teams. So, yeah, this is a very good matchup. I mean, as we said, these are two teams that have been around in the Overwatch scene for quite a while. Played in many a tournament, maybe a couple changes of players, but these are all players that have been competing in tournaments in various teams for a while as well. So expected a very good close matchup, and 1-1 in the series is very much proving that. And now on to a Flashpoint where
Tarvasa, yes.
pretty much anything can be played. I feel like this is a time where we're going to see each team's number 1 comp facing up against each other.
Yeah, especially we could be seeing this poke here from Trash Pandas. I feel like that's going to be really, really good from them. If they play their angles correctly against a team like Geometrics, they could do excellent here.
Yeah, I mean, you always get taught that it's dive beats poke beats brawl beats dive. Like, that's your standard triangle of matchups, but it's not always the case.
Ooh.
It ultimately depends on how things get played, and well, never mind, because we're not seeing either dive or poke at the moment.
Yeah.
Both of these teams running out on a different variation of brawl. We've got the, pains me to say, Mauga meta that is still existing in this game. They made changes, but they didn't change anything in Mauga's kit in this last patch, so he is
JQ?
still strong meta versus, Starry on the JQ. Other than that, it's pretty much... No, other than that, it literally is a mirror matchup, so it's just Mauga versus JQ. You'd have to say the Mauga comp may be a bit stronger here, but if they can play fast, JQ does output a huge amount of damage as well.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Cage Fight and Cast High Noon with the speed from Lucio, that is massive. But
Dangerous, but you know what else is massive? Soup getting an opening pick once again onto Wooly. No more Lucio, no speed, no trickle of healings. Vexo, that's an even bigger pick. Triage down. Now that's really no sustain. Can they find the burst damage through all of this? Soup gets chaired, though. They need to try and chunk someone down. Eternal's low. Can they chase? Pitch slap drops. It's in favor.
Nice
Geometric
punish.
winning. Soup, though, finds Vex in the back line. Can they kill Bevan? It's the 2 DPS online versus the support and the tank. You generally say that would go in favor of the team with the tank online, but Soup, now with Triage back, he's going to look to try and deny. No, they don't get the cap. So it is going to be Geometric with the first capture point online.
Look at
holding
the
space.
DPS ultimates, though. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, the ult charge was just charged up so quick there. It's going to be definitely interesting upon how they play with these ultimates.
Yeah, a lot of sustain, a lot of HP online in these brawl comps does mean that the DPS can farm, and there's one of those DPS ults early. Soup getting sped in with the noon, does find Starry, that should be the fight win.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely crazy from Soup. And plus, you have your Kitsune Rush, your Triage, and then Bevan with this Venture ultimate ready to go, but there's still going to be ultimate fights here if you're Geometric.
Yeah, I mean, Geo coming up on pretty much all 5 of their ults, really a little bit behind. But, on pace with the other Lucio to get their beat. Does mean, though, that Starry, if they can bait out the Kiriko Suzu, should be able to get a nice big chunk ult with the Queen. So here we go, the early engage.
Knife.
Suzu and Kitsune use. Vex finds Soup off the back of that knife. Look at the assists in that kill feed as Soup drops. Churd with the Venture ult. Gets one, gets
Churd
two,
going
gets
crazy.
three.
This is
Off the
Hydra
backs. Vex
play.
fills it up. The Venture popping off, and they only had to use 2 ults. Traded back and forth there, but all of the kills were on the side of Geometric, and they're still up on this capture point. It's going to be kind of a last second touch here with how quickly these points tick over.
I mean, look at the Malga Cage and Venture Ultimate here, possibly from Trash Pandas. This could be huge. Might be seeing an engage here with a Cage. The Cage is
Early
popped.
Cage, Soup
With the
headshots.
Oh my god, headshots back and forth from Trash Pandas, and they just keep on going.
Yeah, nice early ult usage there. Eternal making the space, and then it's Soup and Bevan following up with the damage once again. Soup landing some nice headshots here on the Cassidy today. Well, they're going to get another fight, and they do have the ult advantage. They need to burn Triage's Suzu early. If they do, with how grouped together this team is, it should be a huge rampage from Starry Night, but I'm sure Triage and the rest of the team will be acknowledging that and will not be wanting to use this Suzu early if possible.
That was actually insane, and here we go, Soup popping the cast ultimate, getting mellow here, and if you're Starry, you're kind of dead there.
Yeah, Starry's looking for the perfect time to use this this Queen Rampage. Like I said, they're trying to bait out the Suzu first. It might be a case of just use it and stop trying to hold it. I mean, use it, get Suzu out. Maybe then the rest of your team can follow up on the engage, knowing that there isn't a Suzu online. Because at the moment, I mean, they didn't even use it at all, and they're swapping over to the Sigma. So.
Yeah, I mean, this point, especially here for Trash Pandas, this could be huge here for the Malga comp. Playing that high ground, definitely getting that advantage.
Yeah, Sig though. Sig very good at taking space against the Malga. I mean, the shield and the E denies a lot of the damage, but Slam came in from the Malga, got Mellow down, and Soup with the headshots follows up. Soup and Triage in the kill feed. Vex trades one back onto Bevan, but too little too late, and now they're staggering Starry as well. You got to just run off the map or get killed as quickly as possible. Standing still, not a good idea there, and they're going to be way behind on the respawn from the rest of their team, which is going to mean more capture percentage in favor of Trash Pandas.
I mean, if I'm being honest here, I think we call that one a womp womp. But I mean, Pitch Slap coming up on this Beat Matrix, Eternal's coming up on this Cage. We're also going to be seeing Tirage with the Kitsune Rush. This is huge. Bevan also with Venture, so that's 4 ultimates here for Trash Pandas. But Mellow does pop both Kitsune Rushes out here from both of these teams. Sure does get picked by Bevan. Swevex is trying to get something here, possibly off of Soup, but Bevan popping the Venture ultimate. Trying to get a pick possibly off of Mellow. Mellow needs to get out, but Bevan getting the pick off of the cast. Bevan getting another pick off of Mellow, and this is just going their way right now.
Yeah, they're playing the Malga meta pretty much to perfection. Good rotation of ults, good space denial, good engage disengage timing, but Starry finds that early pick on the Triage. Means there's not going to be any sustain in this. They already used the beat of Pitch Slap last fight as well. Soup does have the high noon, gets
Soup.
2, but it's a 3v1. Surely they can finish him off, right?
I mean, that was wild.
Yeah. Well, they got the cap. They played aggressively, denied the touch, so all of those ults in that fight win for Geometric doesn't really mean anything, because they've all got to respawn and just go to the next point.
Exactly, and here up on this objective, possibly some Lucio boops from both of these Lucio players. I see it happening, not gonna lie.
It's possible with the rotations. I mean, the Sigma comp obviously going to be walking in much slower than the Malga does. Malga already able to take space as well, because, well, they all died and just immediately ran to the next point. Churd low again on the Venture, gets forced out. Svex getting popped a little bit. Eternal is face tanking, but that's what Malga does. You will see their health pool drop and rise repeatedly. The boot does try to come out from Pitch Slap, gets low. Svex finds that pick. They didn't get the boot, but Eternal did jump in and trade it with the kill onto Svex. Starry finds Soup, though, in the meantime, meaning they're up 1, make that 2 with Triage finding Churd. Bevan pops the Venture ult, but immediately gets killed by Starry. Eternal does find that exit pick on Starry, but Churd chunks them down. Lucio will go and pick up their tank, and in the end, it's a 1 fight for Geometric, but Trash Panda's already over 50% capture.
Yeah, I mean, they have Flux here. If you're Geometric, Milla's going to be coming up on this rush. We could be something pretty good here if we're Geometric, but I honestly feel like Eternal's going to be charging this cage up pretty quickly as we see Chirage pop in the rush here as Kiri. But Flux...
Churd goes down, Flux gets Triage low, but doesn't finish off. Suzu hits to deny that. Eternal Wooly drops.
The Ajax!
No, Wooly. Add him to the list for the Ajax. Vex, though! 3k in the feed, the cast popping off, showing Soup that they can get kills as well. Eternal, though, jumps in, finds a slam kill onto Svex, jumps on their head, gets rocked down. Starry Night did find Triage just before that, which meant Eternal didn't have much sustain. They capped the point in, got it to overtime. They're 1 fight away from winning this entire map, but Geometric still pulled out the ultimate fight win there.
Yeah, I feel like Trash Pandas, though, going up into this next fight, I feel like they're going to have the advantage because we have Cage Fight from them. Starry Night doesn't have Flex, so Cage Fight and Noon.
Be early in, slam in. Now we'll surely see the Cage Fight.
There's Cage.
There's the Noon from Svex, gets immediately chunked down by Eternal, Pitch Slapped, and the rest of the Trash Pandas running in. It's a 5v2. Churd pops ult. Starry did find the kill on the Pitch Slap, but it's too little too late, and with ults to spare here, Trash Pandas wins the Ravassa and make it 2-1. As far as Brawl v Brawl goes, that looked dominant from the Trash Pandas.
Yeah, I mean, Soup there, though, especially. I mean, that was crazy cast gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, Eternal, it's the way you just play aggressive cast. I mean, you've got Eternal running in, taking everyone's attention with the Malgan. I mean, you see the kind of shots that they're landing. How do you deal with that from Soup? Just some huge picks, but yeah, it's Eternal.
After headshot, that was wild.
Yeah, Eternal creating all the space. Bevan is being annoying on off angles, and it's just they can't get to Soup in time before Soup's landed enough shots to get some kills.
Yeah. Well, not sure what next map's gonna be, but this is a close one, Chad. Hopefully y'all are interested.
Close indeed, but it's gonna be tough. I do think there's gonna be a bit of a timeout at the moment, so we will. Yeah, a little bio break. Some people. I mean, we're on going into map 4 next, so 3 maps in, take a little break. It's pretty standard for these players. I mean, I'm sure Geometric will be happy to get some time to kind of chill out and reset for the next map. Well, you've got to remember, both of these teams, they are both 1-0 in the season so far. They both won their first map, so an important game. You always want to try and keep the unbeaten streak going as long as possible. So
exactly. But
curious if we can see how long it lasts.
Geometric doesn't stop Soup. That could cause them problems.
Yeah. Yeah, and once the players are back, the map type we're going into will be push.
Oh.
I mean, all of the push maps kind of play in various comps can work.
Yeah, dive, brawl, rush.
Brawl is generally, though, really good on a lot. Like, you can kind of just force this Malga comp on whatever map it is and generally tend to get away with it for the most part. Just force fights around the push bot. I'd be surprised if Trash Pandas don't come back out on that comp or something similar with how dominant they looked on it. And the fact that Geometric didn't really look to have an answer for them. for the most part, but we'll be curious. I mean, they've got plenty of time to think about what they're going to do coming into the next map.
Yeah, exactly. They could pull an SSG here.
It's
I
always
mean,
possible.
yeah, Trash
I mean, they're
Pandas
still
though.
only down one game. You know, you're
Yeah,
only down one map. Yes, that does mean it's match point. This is best of five, first to three. So 2-1 does mean that that it's match point, but that does also mean you're only two maps away from potentially winning it yourselves. I mean, if you win this map, bring it back even, it's then match point for both teams, down to that map five decider. So you know
yeah.
you don't
I
want to
feel
get
like
too disheartened yet.
push with Brawl though, especially with like a Melga comp, that could be massive, depending. So it's gonna be definitely interesting what both these teams could do. Maybe Geometric will come back, possibly pushing a map 5, but I kind of want to see a map 5, you know? Like we've gone this far, we're like halfway basically, but a map
Yeah.
5 would be nice.
Map 5 would certainly be interesting as well. I mean, I don't think, definitely not on broadcast at least this season, have we seen a map 5. There's been a lot of sweeps so far as teams are kind of balancing themselves out. So, will be interesting that first map 5, see how teams kind of adjust to it, have people practiced well enough on these later map types. But well, we talked about push and what the push maps might be. It does look like Esperanza at the moment is Geometric's pick. They are the team, obviously, loser picks next map, so they've picked Esperanza. Esperanza, quite a
Dive
good dive map, I
could
guess.
go good there, but I feel like
Yeah.
Brawl would be better, especially after seeing Trash Pandas play it. It was well played from them. I honestly think going up in the Esperanza, I feel like they're gonna run Melga. Like after the performance that we just saw,
But also, right, going back to the basics that I talked about earlier, Brawl beats dive. That is the traditional matchup. Brawl beats dive because you force them to
exactly.
dive into your Brawl range and then you blow them up.
Hmm.
Mauga looked to be their strongest comp. Dive looked to be Geometric's strongest comp. You'd expect Geometric to run out on a dive of their own, with that being their favorite
Maybe
comp and with it being good on Esperanza. So surely you play the comp that's kind of designed to blow the dive up as the counter, with that also looking to be one of your strongest comps. It
Geometric might
seems
play
like a no-brainer.
JQ. I mean, we might be seeing the JQ v Melga again.
Could be, but I doubt. I mean, they just Trash Pandas just proved that they can kind of blitz through the JQ comp. So
Yeah, yeah,
surely, Counterwatch being the meta that it is at the moment, surely you don't play a comp that the enemy can so easily swap and destroy themselves, right? You want to
exactly.
play into your strengths, or you want to try and figure out what plays into Trash Panda's weaknesses, at least if you're geometric here.
All right, well, chat, what is your predictions here? Do you guys have Trash Pandas or Geometric? That's what we want to know here up on the cast. But, I mean, for me, especially, I feel like Trash Pandas are going to take this. I've seen it already. I mean, what
They
about you?
are they're a very strong team, but Geometric again is a team that's been around for a while. They're not gonna let this get to them. They're not gonna they're not gonna be overthinking things. They're gonna just be setting themselves up with a plan of how to win.
Yep.
Um, you would say 2-1 up coming into a map where Trash Pandas look to be more confident on what is currently the meta. Unfortunately, we're probably just going to see more Mauga get played, and when more Mauga gets played, it looks like Trash Pandas have the advantage. So, yeah, it would be hard to call it against them, but who knows? Maybe they decide not to play Mauga, and it plays into Geometric's hand, and we
Yeah,
end up with a map 5.
maybe it'll be an upset here. It would be insane if Geometric can pull this and head to a map 5. But we don't know yet, unfortunately, until we hop up into that game. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped though for Esperanza. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a good map. It's got nice sight lines. You know, the points play differently. It's definitely one of the prettier of the push maps as well. So it's always nice to watch a game get played out on here. And like you said, or like we spoke about earlier, it's a map that kind of allows whatever comp again is favored, but it
Exactly.
all keeps coming back to this Malga. I mean, if I felt like Geometric were very dominant on the poke, then I would say they have a stronger chance because Malga's big weakness is trying to take space, which there is a lot of open space on this map. So trying to take open space against a poke comp wouldn't be great, but I don't feel like Geometric haven't really shown that poke is something that they're comfortable to swap onto. So that's why I feel like Trash Pandas have got to acknowledge that and just force the brawl into them. It's
Yeah,
not fun, but it wins.
well, until we see what these two teams are gonna be running here. Ooh,
Okay.
okay. All right. I mean, this is
Different.
interesting. I mean, have we seen Mercy gameplay this season?
We have not on broadcast, to my knowledge, so that's a new one. But Farah is pretty good at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Looks like they're going to be playing for a 2-3 split here from Geometric. I mean, you're going to have Wooly, Starry, and Cherd diving in together, looking for the slam, maybe following up off the back of Svex's damage. And Svex is going to be outputting a lot of damage, presumably, with the pocket, but it's going to be how well they can play around Triage and Soup's sightlines, because that's two
Yeah.
hit scan players who have been playing incredibly well for Trash Pandas already. Starry dropping low, Cherd gets kind of chunked out as well, has to disengage, and well, Bevan finding that opening pick does chase Cherd down, and this brawl ram comp, this kind of mid ground between poke and brawl, looks to be winning so far, but Svex does
Let's find
find
the pick.
yeah, Bevan, so they're even. DPS for a DPS. Does have to play slightly safe though.
Ooh,
Soup, there we go. Yeah, headshots again.
Well, he does die again here, and Mercy's just trying to fall back. I feel like Soup's gonna try and get this back. Ella's one.
Looks at Mello doesn't get out. There we go. Soup does finally tidy that up, and well, first fight goes pretty predictably there.
Yeah.
Cherd swapping off of the Sombra does go into a slightly more reliable Tracer, but rest of the team
Cast high
opting
noon.
to stay the same.
I mean, Soup's gonna be coming up on this high noon here shortly. This could be huge for high ground advantage, especially. But you do gotta be aware that Pharah, if the Pharah gets value, it might be bad.
Yeah, I mean, Cherd gets some value there. We see Bevan. Starry Night drops to literal 1 HP with the shields online. He's going to have to reset, try and find a health pack before they can re-engage. But exactly what you said, Svex can chunk out a lot of damage on this Farah if given the space to. But at the moment, they're not given that space. But taking space back, Cherd did steal the bot back. Rock missing. Wooly gets low. Starry Night, though, finds Soup. Triage forced up onto high ground. Bevan drops low as well.
Window.
Svex has to be careful of that window indeed. Bevan finds Starry, but Cherd finds Triage. So there's the
Oh, there's
sustain.
the flex.
Gone. Flux. Doesn't look like it hit. Oh, it only hit Mallow. It did. It got the kill. I didn't
there's
notice
the
the Mercy was
barrage.
already flying. Barrage trades. Cherd with a kill, but Bevan finds the pulse bomb back. It's a Tracer and a Lucio trying to fight point, but the cast coming back. Cherd, though, does get the advantage, and it is going to be the ball comp that should be able to come back quicker. So, Geometric, scrappy fight, but they come out on top.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we're gonna be seeing a team with 2 ultimates versus a team with 4 ultimates. So, really, I think Trash Pandas could play this out though, because Churod is dead. Hopefully, they can sustain, possibly not let the Mercy res. But Melo does have Valk. Wooly has beat. This is 4 ultimates against 2 though. So, This is definitely going to be interesting upon how they play this, but Starry's low.
Yeah, had to get that mega. Soup then finds
Soup.
Wooly, who's trying to back up. They pretty much have this forward spawn pushed. Looks like they actually did cap it indeed. So they'll be pretty confident about that, holding their space. Sickomp looking strong. Churd gets caught again, trying to escape. Now they've got Svex in a low ground. Bevan with a one clip there. Tracer gets the kill on to the far. So more staggers means more time they have to wait and more progression they're giving up here. Geometric just not quite able to get the coordination on point right now.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean, we see Bevan charging up this ult charge right now. Going to be getting this pulse here. Possibly Eternal might be charging up here too, depending. But mines do come out here from Starry. One off a triage. And Mellow's going to be popping the Valk. They're trying to find more. Starry does get another here up on the Soup. And Starry with 3. Specs just finding that finalized pick. And if you're Trash Pandas, this boss going to be coming back.
It is, but they do still have forward spawn, which means they're going to get a nice hold once again, probably on these like mirrored high grounds here once they push out. And they do have the ult advantage. I mean, Churd and Wooly, there's two pretty big ults, but if any, like if this Pulse Bomb or Noon get a pick, it's going to be a fight changer. Early use of the beat from Wooly, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Soup finds Mellow early. Soup now pops the high Noon. Churd only able to force out Immortality Field with their Pulse Bomb. No one low. Barrage. Bevan kind of pitch gets down a bit. Barrage comes out, but it's not able to. It's only finding Triage. Soup then trades it out. Eternal finds Churd. Wooly trades it, but Wooly and Starry probably going to have to just disengage here in this 3v2. And it's Trash Pandas again taking the fight win and being up on ult charge.
Yeah, I mean, Eternal's going to be having ultimate here shortly. Triage is also going to be having this window. So definitely, as you said, the ults are going to be coming out from them. But I feel like the flux is going to be huge here from Eternal. The rock does come out.
Yeah, and look at how low Starry is. They're taking so much damage because they're often just engaging on their own, having to on this bull. Damage does come out, Eternal dropping below half, but there's the flux. Does find two. It finds the Far Mercy. Nice. Soup following up the kill on the back of it again and finding Wooly came in trying to save the Soup. Finds the 4th. Surely that's a fight win as Starry Knight is forced to disengage. They had full spawns online as well. They're pushing past. Another pretty comfortable fight win there for Trash Pandas. And yeah, too many fights just going heavily in favor of Trash Pandas here.
Yeah, I mean, as we see those, Soup is going to be having this Noon, so possibly we could be seeing Pitch Slap speeding the Noon with Soup here, but we're going to be seeing Triage with the Window Noon. Seems to be that Geometric
Space Denial
knows what they're trying to do, but Bevan does have this Pulse. We'll be seeing something big here. Does throw Pulse in. Will it get anybody? No, it will not.
Sorry, who is now swapped over onto a Monkey, trying to take space. He's forcing this poke comp back pretty well. Wooly then finds the kill onto Soup, so there's the primary damage output of the cast down. Triage dropping dangerously low means they can't focus. Eternal then drops. Pitch Slap gets dropped. Surely someone is able to find Triage, who is now the last left on this high ground. If Triage gets out, that'll be huge. If they don't, this is going to be a major stagger for Trash Pandas.
Yeah, do you think Geometric has this? I mean, they're coming up on ultimates. It's definitely going to be close, I will say.
It is, and they've swapped to a more traditional dive. Mellow off the Mercy onto the Kiliko means Starry Knight can sustain more. I mean, Svex is kind of on their own, but Farah can poke from off angles. Bevan gets that first pick, but it's traded by Soup. Churd, though. There's Churd with a 2k Pulse Bomb once Immo had already been forced out. Vex cleans up onto Triage, and here we go. On the dive comp, looking much more confident from Geometric. Should be able to get forward spawn push off of this. Maybe a last second like recontest from Bevan, but I don't think they're going to want to be staggering in here.
Yeah, especially. I mean, Eternal's gonna be coming up on this Flux and Pitch Slap. It's gonna be having this ultimate here, ready to go beat Matrix, and I'm just wondering what they're gonna do here against, Starry's Primal and Rush here from Mellow.
Yeah,
Sweat
Wooly got
XP.
chunked low, but can play safe here. Churd and Wooly on this off angle. Starry just looking for a little bit of poke with a Farah coming in. Svex off the back to follow up. Eternal drops below half, but he's going to get healed back up by Triage. They now have nearly 5 ults online. Pulse comes
Mellow,
out
you're
early,
stunned.
doesn't hit. There's the Flux. No beat online for Wooly, but they are surviving through it. Starry
Oh, Starry
primaling the
going next, you
backline.
see?
Gets Triage, and Soup now comes in to help finish off Eternal. Tank making and taking space, and well, here you go, the dive comp looking much stronger here for Geometric, and it's the counter of poke, and so far they've been winning all of these fights.
Yeah, especially and Geometric coming up on 3 ultimates right now as we see on our screen, and I feel like Rush here as a Kiriko main, that could be huge here.
Ooh,
Oh, but
but the
Starry,
window! Starry got caught out in the middle of that window, got chunked by
that's
3
what I'm
members of Trash Pandas, then Bevan finding that exit frag onto Svex forces the back out reset for Geometric, and yeah, that was just a huge, really well timed window that caught Starry off guard. They had Soup, Pitch Slapped, and Triage shooting into them, and all of that monkey HP just evaporated.
It might still be possible here for Geometric, as we see Mello popping the Kitsune Rush.
Overtime
But Soup does, oh
Soup!
my god, Soup!
Two
Pitch
get
Slap.
low, High Noon with a quick kill. Do Trash Pandas take the fight win here and ultimately the series?
I mean, kind of looks that way. Team kill,
Yep.
Trash Pandas, they're going.
Slightly better usage of the alt rotation, maybe a slight lack of alt tracking there from Geometric when it looked that they potentially had the comeback on this map. Not quite able to get the comeback in the series, and ultimately with a scoreline of 3-1 in the series, it is Trash Pandas staying undefeated so far as we get in through week 2 of Golden Hammer Gaming Season 7.
Yeah, I will say though, this match especially was pretty close though. There was
Of
a lot
course.
of tables turning there and then, but
Mm-hmm.
the last part, I feel like Geometric could have stepped up, but as you said, the tracking up on their team, it could have fell apart. But there's always next week to improve, and maybe we can just see if they could come back.
Yeah, and Trash Pandas on the other end of it as the winners, looking to set their sights on a potential undefeated season, certainly stamping their name as one of the contenders in their division right now. But yeah, I'm sure Geometric will regroup. I mean, they're a good team. They've had good coaching, good coordination. Uh, they played well for the most part. They just looked to be a slight compositional disadvantage at times, and then because they were behind, they weren't maybe alt tracking as well. It looked like they weren't prepped for some of the ults that were coming online by the Trash Pandas at times, so it was close. Um, I'm not sure if you know, yeah, but it's tradition around here that we give the golden hammer to who we think the match MVP is. Now, I'm fairly confident that I know who you're going to give it to. I mean, we saw them a lot in the kill feeds. I think everyone in the chat will be understandable if you give it to them. So, before I let you give your golden hammer on your first cast, your first broadcast here, I will point out just how well everyone in this matchup did. I mean, we saw plays from both teams. We saw Churd popping up in the kill feed. We saw Soup obviously popping off. We saw Eternal doing a great job of creating space. Mallow was
Exactly,
doing
yeah.
great, allowing Starry Night to sustain in the engages, and we saw a lot of Starry Night in the kill feed at times, which is always nice when you see a tank filling up the kill feed. It means they're not just taking space, they're also following up on the damage of their team. But having said that, yeah, who is your golden hammer for tonight's match?
If I'm being honest, as you said, there was a ton of skill played up in this match, but I gotta say that it was Soup. We saw a
Mm-hmm.
heck ton of gameplay from that guy, and especially like headshot after headshot. That's immaculate gameplay. Like not a lot of people could do that, you know? But yeah, I feel like Soup impressed them all. It was definitely a wild game if you were Soup.
Yeah, it felt like they were just roaming free a lot of the time. And as you said, finding those headshots, finding those opening picks, whether it was on Widow or Cass, they were just pumping out the damage and often setting up their team for the fight wins. I couldn't agree more. That was exactly who I expected you to give the golden hammer to. So I think you kind of got a softball in this one. Not too much decision making going in, but a well deserved golden hammer going to Soup from Team Trash Pandas in this win. And yeah, that's unless you've got any final notes to say on this match. It was a close matchup, but in the end, it's Trash Pandas pulling out the 3-1 win, thanks to lots of big plays by none other than Soup on the
Yeah.
DPS. Other
Do
than that, I
we
think that's going to be it for us.
Yeah, it was definitely close. That was wild.
There is, though, a potential second match tonight. We do have some teams playing some later matchups. So keep an eye out for the announcements. Keep an eye out on those Twitch pings. Maybe Golden Hammer will be popping back up live. But if you don't, just gonna call it here. Thank you for tuning in to this match. We hope to see you again the next time we do go live. But for us, that's been week 2 matchup between Trash Pandas and Geometric in season 7 of Golden Hammer Gaming. We hope to see you back the next time we're on.
See you, everyone.